If you're the type of person that likes to work out in fitness classes, then you're in luck because Nike is dropping a shoe made specifically for that. Let's take a closer look at the Air Zoom SuperRep. What's going on, guys? You're watching Sneaker News on YouTube, and today we're taking a closer look at the Nike Air Zoom SuperRep. Before we do that, just do us a quick favor, please hit that subscribe button and we'll get right to it. So Nike has recognized a growing trend within the fitness industry that's been going on for a few years actually, and that's the growth and popularity of class-based workouts, and that's with like HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training. And they made a shoe called the SuperRep made specifically for that quote unquote sport. So before we show you a closer look, we just want to go over the basics. The global release date is January 2nd, 2020, and the retail price is $120. Nike members in Europe will get a first chance at buying these on December 17th. But again, for anyone else outside of Europe, January 2nd is the date to circle on your calendar. SuperRep was made specifically for high-intensity interval training, typically done in these class-based workouts. They made the SuperRep specifically to adapt to the type of activities that are in these classes. And one of the more popular workouts is the burpee. And the burpee is basically you stand upright, you go down in a push-up position, you do a push-up, you go back into standing form, and you jump high. And basically, this right here is called the burpee break. And this deep flex groove is there for that specific reason because you're on your toes a lot and you need your toes to sort of propel you on the jump. And when you kind of kick your feet back to do that push-up position, you know, that toe flex is really important, and they're calling this the burpee break. So that's a pretty neat detail made specifically for that workout. This right here, you can see the base of the Zoom pods. They took the whole visible cushioning thing to the next step with this model. Not only do you see the Zoom Air on the side, but you can see it through the sole. It's called the containment shield, and there's a lot of left to right lateral movements in these workouts as well, so that's made specifically to keep your foot in place. Of course, now let's talk about Air Zoom. It doesn't really need any sort of introduction. Been around since the mid-90s, but visible cushioning is something that Nike's relied on when they debut like a new shoe. And the reason why it's at the forefoot is because when you're on your toes a lot, it's more important to have the cushioning at the forefoot than at the heel. So there's actually no zoom in this heel, it's just at the forefoot. And there's a lot of similarities to the game of basketball. You're constantly on your toes rather than your heels, which is why almost every basketball shoe that Nike makes has Zoom Air at the forefoot. So now you can tell that Nike has placed quite an emphasis on making the forefoot of the shoe as structurally relevant as possible. You know, it's really important to have that toe flex. It's really important to have that stability. And the heel still provides cushion, but you're not really on your heels that much. You know, that's a shoe like the Metcon, for example, that's built for, you know, CrossFit and weightlifting and deadlifts and things of that nature, where you're on your heels and you need something a little flatter. This right here has an 1.5 inch break from the floor, so that's quite a boost in height. Now the upper, it's comprised of this interior booty-like construction, and you can tie them tighter with the laces. And overlaid above that is this extra layer that starts from the heel, ends over at the medial, and it's built with this transparent material and these very thin cords that sort of rib all the way down from the toe to the heel, and that will contain your foot when you do all these crazy movements, because even though there's no cardio involved in HIIT workouts, you're like dancing around your feet a lot, again with the burpees, or when you're on your planks and constantly like on your toes, or doing the mountain climbers where you're again constantly on your toes and putting a lot of stress at the tip of the foot. So all that is meant to, you know, protect your feet and keep them stable so you can work through these workouts. When we first saw the shoe, we were instantly reminded of the Instant Pump Fury. That's a totally different shoe, but just purely based on aesthetic, it had a lot of similarities, but again, two completely different shoes. It has a very futuristic technical design. We can easily see this crossover into like the ISPA realm or something like that. It'll be interesting to see if they made like a SuperRep lifestyle shoe, but this is specifically for classes for now. And it's a clean design. It's made specifically for people who like to go to class-based workouts. And on top of the Air Zoom SuperRep, there's a SuperRep Go, which is a much more toned down model. It has a flat sole, a lightweight upper. It's just for those quick workouts when you're out in the park or something like that. And there's a SuperRep spin shoe, because if you've ever been in spin classes, you know that the instructors like to turn the fans off and get a sweat going, and breathability is really important. So they have vents all around the shoe to kind of keep your foot cool and dry. The outsole of that spin shoe is actually made of rubber to prevent slipping, because apparently slipping and falling is a really common cause of injury according to spin instructors. But at $120, it's not going to break the bank, so it's worth giving a shot. Again, this men's pair and this women's pair will launch on on January 2nd, 2020 worldwide for 120 bucks. You know, that's pretty much it. We just wanted to give you a first look at the SuperRep. Let us know in the comments what's your favorite Nike shoe to work out in, and if you do take classes, if you would give these a shot. You know, we want to know to see what you think about Nike taking these efforts to make shoes for very, very specific types of activity. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel, and we'll catch you in the next video.